Welcome to Tuesday night. It is about 10 o'clock Eastern, and we are waiting for Adam, who looks like he's not showing up, but we are Draft for Upside. It is time for the PGA breakdown of the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. A little bit of a departure for the last few weeks because it is a short field and it is a everybody makes the cut event. It's going to be interesting. With me tonight is Mr. Brewery Mark, Mr. Chris Emmerich. I am Johnny Danger. Fellas, how are you?
Doing good.
Doing good? Just good?
Just good. Long
Just
day.
good.
This is Mark's type of event, man.
Right?
He can't have a top three and three guys miss the cut. He's going to get all six guys all weekend. Oh, baby.
Yeah, man. It's late. I'm half in the bag. I was drinking some Maker's Mark tonight. Boring, but, it's always around. And when you stop at a cheap gas station in the middle of nowhere in a town population of about 890, it's what you get when you're looking for bourbon.
It's not bad. Makers is still solid.
It's smooth. It's fine. Nothing special. But you can definitely get better for $32.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, Chris, what are you drinking, man? You taking time off, or what are you doing?
Currently, I have Ye Who Enter Here from Orpheus Brewing, which is an imperial stout aged in whiskey barrels with chili peppers, coffee, and vanilla beans. Previously, I had another one of their offerings, which was a barley wine aged in whiskey barrels. It was called Room of 1,000 Years Wide. And then
You've got some interesting names over there, Orpheus.
They do. And then prior to that, I had a Chocolate Redemption or something like that from it's a Big Bad Baptist variant.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Mark, what do you got? Anything? Nothing?
No, I'm actually drinking a Witch's Hat This Guy.
Ooh, good choice. I've heard of that.
Yeah. I figured you had.
I love it, man. So baseball's getting kind of wacky, huh, fellas?
Yeah. Are they even going to play?
Yeah, well, I think they're going to keep forging forward and see what happens. This morning, 4 more Marlins tested positive. They have, as far as I know, I think they're still in Philadelphia. Maybe they went back, but I know that they have canceled the rest of the week's events for the Marlins. I know the Yankees have decided not to go to Philly to try to play their games. And from what I heard on Twitter, I don't know if it was any kind of official statement, but apparently the Washington Nationals had a player vote, and the overwhelming majority of players chose to say they do not want to go to Miami for the weekend series.
I would be all good with them canceling the season because I have been atrocious at picking pitchers, being profitable, and I'd like bigger contests in esports where there's not as much overlay, so they continue to do it. So let's cancel everything.
Yeah, I just don't see this as they made a very poor choice in continuing to use all the stadiums. I think the only viable option is to do what the NBA and NHL plan to do, and that's pocket the teams around single stadiums and keep everybody isolated in hotel rooms. But even that's not working. There's reports of NBA players out at strip clubs, and it's not going to work, man. I don't understand. I think they all would have saved a lot more money as owners, I'm saying, if they just scrapped the season than try to get everything going, not actually get going, have to shut down again, piss off fans. I don't know. I think they ought to shut it all down. I'm a big sports guy. We're sitting here on a sports podcast, and I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but you know what, Johnny Danger? This could be an esports podcast. Mark's in line with it. I'm in line with it. Adam is in line with something.
Because he's not here, so who cares?
But you're holding
I'm in. Let's do esports. Let's do esports. I mean, not tonight, but, next time. Let's do it. I'm ready. When's the next big esports event?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Well, every day. Well, let's get this on. Let's do a daily teach John how to play esports.
God, you can't even stay up late enough to
No, I'm talking about just during the day. What are you doing during the day? Nothing. What am I doing during the day? Nothing. Let's just get her done.
I'm a highly busy professional.
I bet you are.
And I started drinking for this podcast 2 hours ago, so I was ready to go. during the podcast, and then an hour later we started beyond what we were. So, look, I'm a little drunk.
Yes, I like it. I like all of it. All right, well, let's get her done. Well, hey, guys, we are going to do PGA tonight. Adam, unfortunately, Adam's not here. He has ventured into his own business and quit his corporate job and is working until the sun goes down. He did apologize. So hopefully we'll get him back here at some point for this show. Maybe we need to just drive down there and meet him and kidnap him right there on the spot. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyways, we are at the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational. I do believe there is only 72 golfers in this field, and it is a non-cut event, meaning everybody is playing all 4 days. Star-studded affair. Lots of great names in the lineup here. For the last several years, it's been won by names we know and who are here. Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Daniel Berger, back-to-back Daniel Berger in 16 and 17. Harris English was a winner here. Dustin Johnson's a two-time winner here. So a lot of good names in this field. We got Webb Simpson, Mark Leishman, Tommy Fleetwood, Rory. Good guys in this lineup. It's going to be interesting. Not a cash week, really. It's tough to do cash lineups when you can't count on the steady guys to make the cut. Definitely a interesting tournament play. Really is going to bring some of these lesser known names into the fold in winning lineups, I think. Either of you had a chance to take a look at this?
Oh yeah, I have a group of guys that I'm pretty high on, so I'm ready to go. Like, as we roll through this, because they're of all different sorts, all different varieties, all different scores, all different prices, all fucking different.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit about the course. It's not particularly long. It's a par 70. There's only 2 par 5s. They're kind of short for par 5s, but there is 8 par 4s at all over 445 yards. So par 4 scoring.
What's the name of the course?
The name of the course is TPC Southwind.
Did you know that the Invictus Gaming support player used to be named Southwind, but they were doing poorly, so they brought back their World's Championship bowling, and that has boosted the Shy's production, and we think it's due to the power of friendship, and Invictus Gaming has returned to a top team. Just a little note for you.
I didn't know that. Glad to hear that. Someday I'll understand what you're talking about. Maybe it's been 2 years now, and I still don't know what you're talking about most of the time about any topic.
I'm going to send you pictures right now of both of these guys.
I like it. Let's do. So anyways, what I was saying, there's 8 par 4s, over 445 yards. So definitely par 4 scoring is going to be important. It's not going to be as high scoring as it's been most likely the last few weeks. Accuracy is going to be big. The bombers are going to have to club down, which is fine. Greens are relatively small, so accuracy on your approach shots are super important. All Bermuda greens, 100% Bermuda greens. So there's a lot of guys that prefer that, and this is the first course since the restart with that style of green, so it could change up how the players have been putting recently. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think it's an easy course. We're going to see a lot of low scores, and it's anybody's game. I mean, but your long bombers, I think, have an advantage. It's pretty straight, so...
Yeah, but it's kind of short.
Yeah, well, that just means bomb it and chip it.
Yeah, bomb it, chip. I like it. Well, let's just get going with the guys. Sorry we didn't have a great breakdown planned for y'all, but that's just the way it be. But I have got a lot of guys that I like looking at here. That sounded sexy, didn't it? Guys I like looking at. So let's start right here up at the top. Mark, who's your favorite guy in this top range? A lot of big names here. A lot of big names. Are you starting at the top with Rory? Is it his turn to tune up his game for a win before the majors?
Yeah, I mean, I look at Rory's going to win one of the next 3. So this could very easily be that tournament. Outside of that, I mean, but I don't know if I'm going to pay. I don't like paying over $11,000 for anybody. So yeah. You have 3 people at $11,000 here. You have Rahm, Rory, and Bryson. I'm probably going to fade all of them because I just don't like paying 11,000 for anybody, and I'll focus more down around. That leaves me JT at 10-7. I don't know if Cantlay really fits the course that well. He looks to be kind of middle road for the course, so I'm not going to pay for that. I'll go down.
Yeah, I actually don't really like any of these guys in the 10K range. I mean, they're fine, and there's going to be some nice bargains here, and you're going to be able to afford to pay up. And in fact, the first lineup I built, I had two of those guys in, just because I started with my value plays to see who I like. But that's not my forte. Of the guys I like, I think you've nailed it. I like Justin Thomas here. I don't know about John Rahm, his first game as the world number one. Obviously, he can win any course. So can Rory. Rory, for the last 3 or 4 years, has finished no worse than sixth place here, 3 to 4 years in a row. So really hard to discount him, but that's going to make him very popular at the top. But it's the 9K guys here. I like Webb Simpson. Xander is my pick, man. I was on him last week. We didn't do a show, but he was going to be the guy I was on. He had a terrible week. So I'm going to call it flop lag and figure that I was a week early and go right back at him. I like Xander's game for this. And I think he's going to go lower owned. Chris, you like anybody in the top range there? Or are you thinking like you normally think and start a little lower?
No, I think John Rahm's okay. It's a little expensive, but then my friendship circle does start around Xander, Tyrell Hatton. I like a little Tony Finau and some Mark Fitzpatrick or Matt Fitzpatrick. It's M. Fitzpatrick. I don't know his first name. Never do.
Matt.
Matt, Mark, whatever. Fuck it. It's the same thing. Yeah, those are the guys. Those are the guys that pop up in my search queue on my model in terms of guys that are, they're solid.
Yeah, Webb Simpson rates out number one at the scoring on par fours greater than 450 yards, and there's 8 of them here. So I like Webb a ton, and I was all over Xander, so I'm going to stick with that. Daniel Berger, 2-time winner. Hard to go wrong in this range, man. I mean, Victor Hovland playing great ball. Colin Morikawa playing great ball. Something's a little off with Dustin. I know he won an event, but he's had 3 missed cuts and 1 victory in the last 4.
Well, do you believe his back injury?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been reading through some Twitter stuff, and it seems to be kind of they think he just was off and didn't feel like continuing. But Brooks is definitely off. I mean, it's nice to see Brooks at 9,200, way down there. I mean, that's a really good value for one of the best players in the game. But if you watch some of the videos of him, I was just flipping through Twitter and watching these little videos of these guys talking about every time Brooks was lining up a ball, he was like shaking a leg, bending sideways, and they were all saying, that's not normally Brooks. He's not normally doing that thing. So that's bugging him. So I am right there with Chris. Fitzpatrick's my guy. I haven't looked at ownership, but they're talking a lot about him. So I imagine ownership might be a little high on him. But the course fits him so well. Almost every single guy in this 9K range is completely viable for me outside of DJ and Brooks.
Yeah, I agree.
You can fit 3 of them in, Mark. You can fit 3 of those guys.
Yeah, easily. And it's 2 weeks ago when we did our podcast, I was telling you how Brooks just looked off to me. And, what you're seeing on the Twitter is a little more precise, but yeah, he looks off, and everybody was into him a couple tournaments ago, but man, you can just tell it's like Tin Cup,
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a chink in his swing. I don't know what's wrong with him, if it's the knee bothering him or what, but yeah, I'm completely fading Brooks. I have no faith in Dustin Johnson right now. I mean, he can win any tournament at any time, don't get me wrong, but he's also looked off, so I'm going to wait until he gets back to form. So I'm right along with you guys. Fitzpatrick, but he's going to be really highly owned. Patrick Reed, he'll be highly owned. Tommy Fleetwood, and only his second tournament since being back, he'll be highly owned. But anybody in this 9 and high 8s range is viable. You can make a really nice balanced lineup by starting here.
Yeah, there's just a lot of great players in this game. I mean, I think I could do one of those, 20 or 30 max. Was it 30 max? 20 max? Yeah, 20 max. $3
max, yeah.
Lineups. And I could probably make 20 lineups that only share one player each. I mean, there's just
Hmm.
a lot of ways to go this week. It's going to be difficult to sort it out for me personally.
That's why I kind of disagree with the cash and GPP thing. I think it's going to be
Oh, I don't
harder to
know.
hit a GPP.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that without being able to pick the guys will make the cut and kind of banking on a bunch of people missing cuts for you to make that cash line is so much harder when it's a no cut field.
Yeah,
I
I
think
see where
I
you're
think
coming from, but I have confidence.
for sure.
I love my cash games.
Hell yeah. Um, yeah, just looking through here, I think that's all I have for the 9K guys. Patrick Reed, I think, is another guy that's going to be fairly well owned. You're right about Tommy. I think people will go back to him again. Gary Woodland's a guy who has a really high DK scoring average, a guy that likes to score a lot of birdies. Unfortunately, this dude's putter is just like a wet noodle, man. It's not working, and his worst surface is Bermuda. So total stay away from Gary Woodland. Total fade for me in that top end. I like Billy Horschel and Abraham Answer. He's still playing solid, and I think people maybe have forgotten the hot start he got after the reset and might be a little lower owned. I love Abraham Answer. He's been in every lineup that I've test built so far.
What do you got, Chris?
In the 8K range, my favorite is going to be Billy Horschel.
Billy Ho.
He's probably my favorite play. If I had 100 lineups, I'd have 97% Billy Horschel.
I dig it.
That's my pick to
Yeah,
win.
Billy Ho, I like him a lot. I think that's a good pick to win. That's a really good one and done pick that I think will go underrated with all those top end guys. If you're just trying to cash and you're not worried about the total win, I think it's a perfect guy. I wouldn't mind putting a my bookie bet on Billy Ho. Have you looked at his odds, Chris?
I haven't, but if you look at his course history over since 2012, let me just read this off to you. He finished 72nd, 10th, 6th, 8th, 4th, 51st, and 9th. So, a bet to win is probably good, but I think a bet to finish top 10's real good. Real good.
Yeah, the odds will be a little different with 72 in the field instead of 100 and something. So I don't know about top 10 bets personally, but yes, I agree. I think a top 10 guy. I don't see his odds right on the page I'm looking at, but the guys around him are about 40-1 to win. So that's not a bad bet for a guy that just lines up for this course. The guys that I like as well, Jason Day showing some life. Jordan Spieth's had a pretty good season since the restart, and his putter is solid. So I like both Jason Day and Jordan Spieth at the bottom of the 8K range. And honestly, Sergio, man, I think Sergio lines up incredibly well in this field. And that 8K flat, that's a bargain. Anybody else you got here, Mark?
No, I like your answer call. I like the Horschel call. I'm gonna fade Ricky, Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, Sergio. I'm not playing any of them.
Ooh, I like all three.
Yeah, I know. I just don't see it in this field. There's just way too many other people who are gonna outshine them, and they're gonna choke. And yeah, so let's go back and let's go into this high 7K range.
For sure. I'd like to take a brief moment and say people can find us at draftforupside.com, DRAUGHT, the number 4, upside.com. You can find us under that same name on Facebook, Twitter, the whole shebang. And thanks to Lou Landers and the sports crew for also pushing out our content. We appreciate you guys. Down in the 7K range, Matt Wolf kicks it off. Paul Casey, both guys that just have pissed me off recently, and I'm not going back to the well on. Mark Leishman's in that same spot. He always looks like he lines up well. He always looks like he makes a bunch of cuts. He always looks like he's got top 10 finish. And every time I take the bait on him, he just blows it. So screw that guy. The guy who I like in the 7K range is Chris's boy Kevin Na, man. I think this is a good course for him.
Yeah, every course is a good course for Kevin Na, though. Let's be honest.
That's a true story. So we're going to sponsor Witch's Hat, my employer's Fury for a Feast event. We're going to be one of the sponsors, and we get to do a highlight. They're going to send out to all their social media spots, their member emails, and we're going to get our name on their box and all that cool stuff. And Mark, I don't know if you saw, but Chris suggested that we just put together a Kevin Na highlight hype reel
Yeah.
and send that in for our social media push.
Just walking down putt after putt. That's all we need.
I think it'd be amazing. I think I'm half tempted to just go with it. Just a tiny little blurb about the show, and then just be like, and now we'd like you to appreciate Kevin Na.
You should just do voiceovers while Kevin Na is just dominating.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Kevin Na one of the players who he does those videos? You pay him like $20 and he creates a special goofy video just for you.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I joined the Nut Hut over at Tour Junkies, and apparently, as a member, they will do a voiceover shout out for you. So we should get that done too.
There you go.
What you should do is you should go back and pull sound bites from every show that we've done in the last year and a half, 2 years, where it's like, who do you like, Chris? And it's like Kevin Na. All these different like sound blurbs of how many times I've recommended Kevin Na. I mean, you could probably make an hour video out of it.
It's probably true. It's probably true. Other guys in that 7K range, man, I just don't like this range. I like Kevin Na. I don't care for
like
Wolf or
this
Casey or
range.
Leishman, Kuchar, Stenson. I don't like Sumjay. I like Neiman. Poulter is solid. I mean, he's not going to win, but he's going to score you some points. Scheffler's so up and down. Same with Corey Connors. I do like Hadwin at 72, and Max Homa at 72. And Michael Thompson, the winner last week at 7K. Kisner's pretty decent at 7K, but it's not my favorite area. I like a couple of those guys. I like a few guys in the 6s, but I think I'm going to stick in that 8 and 9K range and load up.
No way, dude. Danny Willett. Like, how are you missing this guy? This gem right here. Danny Willett is going to be a fantastic option. He's going to be in the winning lineup, and you should have him.
Sure, you say so. I'll take a look.
This guy's had nothing but upside the entire last month. I mean, and we're talking about a guy that's played 4 different courses, 4 different tournaments. Like, I mean, this guy he's just. Let me read to you some of his stats that he's done. He finished 4th, and he finished 32nd, and he missed a couple cuts. If we go back a little further into June, but who cares about June? I mean, that's a guy that's averaging a 16th place finish. Like, how do you not want a guy like that? The Rocket Mortgage Classic. 80% greens in regulation. Come on. Like, this is a guy that when he is hitting above 60% of his greens in regulation, he's a guy that makes the cut and he does well. He has trouble doing that. Like, I get it, but like I feel like he's going to be able to do it. There's no pressure on him to make the cut. He's just going to perform famously.
I love it, man. I love when we start like an hour late and everybody's got a good buzz on. It's fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, I don't know, Mark. What do you think of this 7K? I'm just not impressed. It's fine. Like, I like Kevin Na. I like a couple of the guys at the very bottom, but like, I'm gonna fill up with those mid-range guys and sprinkle one of those guys in here or there.
Yeah, if I'm forced to play anybody, I agree with Chris. I like Willett, and I like Sanjay M. I think he's in a good spot.
I mean, he's dirt cheap. You're talking about a guy that has 6 top 10 finishes on the season and makes the cut like 80% of the time at 7,500.
Yep, exactly.
So I mean,
you guys might have said this guy, but like I think we're really actually like above Willett, the guy that I really like. I like him a lot. It's going to be Adam Hadwin.
Yeah, I just said that. Adam Hadwin's a guy I like down there for sure. Yeah, Price is right, man. I mean, you're looking at a guy with an average DraftKings scoring of 76.8 points for 72. It's just really, really sweet spot for his pricing.
Yeah,
I think that's going to end up making him very highly owned. I haven't been able to get into the ownership thing, so having total computer difficulties. It probably has nothing to do with the 6 seltzers, 2 beers, and 3 fingers of bourbon.
So you put that on your computer, like
Yeah, man. No, it's not working well. Yeah.
The computer was thirsty.
Yeah, I was thirsty, man. If you dip down to the 6,000 guys, I like Kevin Streelman. He's played solid since the restart. Really like his game here. Louis is always a solid play at under 7K. Ryan Palmer's been good, but my favorite probably down here, my favorite value saver, Matt Wallace. He just lines up really well at this course, and he's 6,700. What you got down in the 6Ks, guys?
Oh, I have some stuff. Hang on, let me bring
Oh,
it
you
up
do,
here.
I'm sure. Mark, go ahead while he's getting his stuff.
I actually don't have a lot down here. I mean, Phil's hot garbage. I don't think Palmer.
How about Joel Dahman going all the way down to 6,200?
Yeah, I mean that's where I was heading next.
Whew. I mean, he's been awful since the restart, awful. But he is a top tier player, and he's at 6,200. Wasn't he in like the 10Ks at the beginning of the reset?
Yeah, at some point he's got to break back out. He's got to get out of the slump.
Right.
Guys, I have a gem down here. Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis is my guy at 6,200, not Joel Dahman. Like, come on, let's Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis is the guy.
And what's backing that up?
Ooh, what's backing that up, Mark? I'm glad.
I mean, he's handsome. He's very handsome. Look at his picture. He's a handsome man.
So Mark, at the 3M Open, this guy hit 81.9% of his greens in regulation. That's a phenomenal number for anybody, even myself. And he only finished 32nd. Now, at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, he was 12th. He finished 12th with 76 greens in regulation, 76.4 if we're being 100% accurate to the numbers that we're saying. This guy has tremendous upside. He's got a salary change of negative 600. So we're getting a discount on this guy. And what's not to like? It's 6,200. Like, Tom Lewis. Like, what a name. Like, this is a great pick here. I don't have a lot of substantial things. I am just picking and choosing stats that make me look smart. Or they don't, because I'm slurring my words, and this is terrible.
Oh, no, it's fantastic, man. You're feeling better than I am. I like it. Hey, how were your gummies the other day, huh?
Oh, man. I mean...
Have you snapped out of that yet?
What a night. I still feel them today. I have some more.
No, I love it. I love it. All right. So tomorrow, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up with my children early, and I'm going to download League of Legends, and I'm going to start playing the game so I can understand what's going on. And then you're going to teach me all about it. Then you're going to teach me all about it. That's what we're going to do. All right. I got my ownership up. It came up this time. All right. Let's go look at your guys here. Tom Lewis, 3.3% calculated ownership. Yep, that's nice. Let's see. Who else? Matt Wallace, 7.7. That's the guy like Shays to Kalravi. Projected at 12% down there. He hasn't even popped in anything that I've run so far. Mark, have you seen anything from the Chesticle?
Nope, but I tend to ignore his name a lot.
Probably because he's cheap and he's a name people know. 12% projection. That's a little crazy. Danny Willett at 3.6%.
I like that number.
Yeah, that's good. Adam Hadlin at 7.9. That's nice. Let's look at the guys at the top here. John Rahm only at 12%.
It's because of that price, though. I mean, like, people are gonna want to play him, but like it's a lot of money.
Oof, my boy Xander at 20.3% projected ownership.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say something. I am, for the first time, playing on my bookie, and this site is absolute trash.
Oh, it's garbage. Yeah, it's the worst. Yeah, I only joined it because they had a sweet bonus match.
Oh my god, this is so bad. Like, I thought Bovado was bad, but this is just absolutely...
Are you on the computer or on your phone?
I'm on the computer.
Oh, on the phone, it's awful. I haven't even looked on the computer. Yeah,
it's terrible.
But they cash out quickly and securely. I enjoy that. That was nice. Kevin Na, 7.5% ownership. I like it. Abraham Answer, 15%. Ugh. The guys I like are liked by the crowd.
Yep.
That's true. Dustin Johnson, 5.7.
I am taking Billy Horschel here to finish in the top 10 plus 400. We're going to place a $72 wager. $72 wager. Let's do that.
I like it. Good move. Who are you putting in to win?
No.
What's Billy Ho to win?
They don't actually. They have top 20 at plus 160. Ooh, let's get on that. What do you mean it's not available? Stop it.
Yeah, it's a terrible site. It's awful. You have to click through like 8 times when you should really only have to do it twice. Well, anyways, any deep thoughts for the week, my friends? Deep thoughts.
My tipsy pick is going to be whatever.
Jazz Hands.
Yep.
Jazz Hands.
He is right at the bottom at 6,000, and I have to play him.
It's gross.
Tipsy pick.
So gross. I'm going to go Cameron Smith. He's very streaky, but if it hits it right, he's got a hell of a swing. So I'm going Cameron Smith. Christopher, tipsy pick for you.
I think it's Tom Lewis.
Tom Lewis?
Tom Lewis. Yeah, I mean, so here we go. Tom Lewis plus 550 to finish in the top 20. Let's go ahead and throw some money on that.
Really? Top 20? That's like finishing in the top third. Like that's good money.
It's a $20 wager for 110. I mean, I think this is a...
Yeah, there's only 72 golfers, bro. So like top 20 is literally like the top third.
I'm getting
all you gotta do is do top third.
Top 10 would be 1,600. If you want to go into the top 5, it's plus 3,300. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go look at my bookie. I just cashed everything out, so I don't have any funds in there. But maybe I'll go play. Maybe I'll go play. I don't know. Man, that's it. We're all kind of buzzed up and distracted and low energy, so let's get the hell out of here and try again next week.
All right, sounds good, guys. Later.
I love it, man. Well, I am Johnny Danger. With me is Chris E. Sports Emmerich and Brewery Mark. We are Draft for Upside. Thanks again to Lou Landers and the sports crew for helping us put it out there, and we will catch you next week.
See ya.